Japan may have bullet trains, but they don't have bullet planes. It's a bullet train, bullet airplane. Well, I was in Japan, and this looks suspiciously like an airplane. Aircraft means airplane, right? The engine is probably the most important part of this plane train. I don't think it's going to be quite as simple as taking a train and putting wings on it. Let me explain. This train, with the normal wing on the front and a tail section in the back which controls the pitch of the front wing to develop lift, the tail section can't really force the train down because the train has wheels in the front and back. So this isn't going to work. And we're going to go to a canard. The reason why is the canard, rather than pushing on the tail to make the wing lift, the front elevators, which control pitch, can pitch the nose up and help the plane climb off the tracks. So let's build that. Obviously, this little tiny model doesn't have wheels on it right now, but we're just interested in only testing the aerodynamics of this small-scale model. So we have the center of gravity of the main plane which you just flew. I know it's in the roughly middle, but the real question here with these cars, where's the center of gravity for those? We have an airplane here, and this is one functional unit that develops lift and pitch control and all that. It doesn't have segmented parts behind it that are developing lift by themselves. So this is a real question of, where do we put the wings on the car? I'm going to try it in the middle first, and we'll see how that goes. I don't think this is gonna work. I think it's gonna pitch up and like stall. That's not really the result I expected. So we got these 3D printed parts here. These are basically U-joints. They allow it to pitch up and down and swing side to side, but not twist. It stays as one. Sort of like a train coupler if a train went through space. Alright, this configuration, complete doo-doo. Let's try something else.
I'm here to help.
What? I didn't ask you. What I'm gonna try to do is put the wings a little bit more forward. Now let's add a tail section. Maybe each car has to have its own tail section for this to work. Try that. Nope. There's something I'm just quite not getting here. It's like the plane pulls it, but then the trailing car just starts doing this. The middle car just kind of like slowly adds to this oscillation. How do I make this stable? I don't really want to put anything in the cars. I just want the engine to do the engine stuff. I think these trailing gliders might produce too much lift considering they don't carry any weight, so I need to make them maybe fly a little bit faster. Dave, you made an interesting point. The tail on this, should this go on all the cars in the middle, or does it need to go on the last car? And by tail, I mean the vertical surfaces. I think we definitely need the horizontal surface on all the cars, but the verticals may be reserved for the last car. Okay, that doesn't work either. Maybe I'll make it look like a canard like the front one. So now we put the wings back here, and a little tail section there, and a little front wings here. Oh, that doesn't work either. That's complete crap. Slight change, we moved the thrust line right through the center of the first car or engine. So hopefully rather than pitching up when I put too much throttle, it's a straight pull. Probably should have done this in the beginning, but hey, you learn when you experiment, I guess. So far, a lot of these experiments are based on my past experiences, and these do not work. I maybe come to these conclusions based upon my aeronautical bias. Chances are you draw your own conclusions based upon your own experiences when it comes to consuming news media and other media in this world. That's why I'm happy to announce that Ground News is a sponsor for this video. Chances are you probably found this video through the YouTube algorithm. Obviously my content is the best and it's the most superior content out there, so you should consume more of it. But are you aware of the other biases that the algorithm is potentially serving you when it comes to news media? Created by a former NASA engineer, Ground News helps you sort through the noise and nonsense to help you better understand complex topics covered and very often spun by many media sources. This recently just happened. A Boeing Southwest 737 completely lost part of its engine cowling, and you can see all the people talking about it. You can see how many articles that Ground News has summarized. It shows you who's covering it, the bias distribution of the networks talking about it. It's really fascinating to see just what you're missing or what you haven't seen yet. Another really unique feature that I like about Ground News is the blind spot tab. It shows you news that's exclusively covered by either the left or right. Things that are not covered universally by both sides, so you can really get an understanding of who's reporting on what and see exactly what you're missing depending on your political bias. Once you examine how language can be very crafted and headlines tailored to making you feel a certain way, it's really disheartening to know that this is what the media is doing to make you draw certain conclusions that are sometimes not factually actually correct. Which is why I'm very happy that Ground News is trying to fix this problem and help you develop a more universal understanding of what you're actually reading. I encourage you all to check out the link in my description below, ground.news/PeterSchriepel, to better understand what's happening in the world around us. Subscribe through my link to get 40% off unlimited access to the platform with the Vantage subscription. This is the plan that I've been using, and when you subscribe, you're not only supporting me, but you're supporting a platform that's trying to make news more transparent and make you better understand what's going on in the world. Now on to the train plane experiments. Let me try something else. I think I have some theories. If you guys ever seen the videos when people load trailers incorrectly, you'll know if the tongue weight is too far rearwards, the trailer oscillates a lot back and forward till the whole towing vehicle and trailer completely crashes or comes apart. I think the same theory is going on here based upon how this thing moves through the air. So rather than do all this stuff, let's just try putting the wings in the very back of each car. That way the center of gravity is roughly somewhere in the middle, and the tow trailer hitch thing is here. And let's give that a go. Let's try 4. What's up, Dave? Ah, the motor fell off. I recommend riding in the first train car. That's not too bad. It glides pretty well, all things considered. So the test plane works. The reason why we build these small models is simply because they're easy to build. They're disposable. I don't care if they break, and then I finally get the configuration I want. It's a great investment of time because there's not a lot of time invested. So this is what we're gonna go with. We have the main engine, and then we have all the cars with the rear wings and a little bit of stabilizers on them too, because I think stabilizers are gonna help a lot. Let's build this thing really big and try it out for real. Okay, we have the engine now. This is actually a little bit different than the small test model you guys have been seeing, mainly because this thing has direct control over the control surfaces and has differential steering like the small model. You know, there's a saying about like roads. Roads can only take you as far as they go, but a mile of runway will take you anywhere in the world. But have they said anything about a mile of train track that points towards the sky? We completed the train plane. Actually, that's not true. We completed the train plane engine. This is gonna pull the cars, but I wanna make sure the big one flies successfully first by itself. Here we go. Not very yaw stable, but it ripped through the air. Okay, it's not bad. It was just the throttle was out of trim. Awesome. good. That's off the rails. On the tracks. See, the cool part here is I'm worried about losing the engine. In case something goes wrong, I have this servo here. So now the cars are locked to the engine. We're gonna give it some gas. I'm gonna disarm it in case something happens in flight and I need to get away from these cars.
You said you need more train tracks, right?
I don't need that. Get out of here. There's a reason why planes don't fly off the tracks. The wind direction changes. You hear that wind whipping through the airframe, or box, or car frame, I guess. We gotta align the track a little bit better. It's not exactly pointing right to the wind right now. Picked a bad day to test this. Test one car. This sucks. It's so windy, it won't stay on the track. I'm kind of concerned. Here we go. It's really, really windy today, and this is like a really fragile experiment. Alright, I'm going to land it. Not bad, not bad. Maybe we might just bypass the rails for today. We have three whatever, doohickeys. It's just way too windy out here right now. I'm not gonna get anything out of this. It's clearly dark, but we're gonna send this thing anyways. I'm not even gonna worry about the rails. I just want to see if these cars will stay linked to the train engine. Let's punch it. Alright, it's staying pretty good together. It is swaying a lot. I may have to adjust these rear cars a little bit, mainly introducing camber to them.
Oh, we lost the car. There goes this car.
All right.
So those cars have clearly come unhinged because it's swaying so much. I think it's put too much stress on this whole system. So what I'm going to do is actually adjust these vertical stabilizers and tow them out. Or is this in this case? I don't know. Either way, when the car pivots too much to one side, this stabilizer will be creating more drag than this one, which is now pointing streamlined into the wind. So hopefully it centers and corrects and stops the swaying motion. Oh, would you look at that? These cars are done now. We've painted them. I've adjusted these stabilizer thingies, and we're gonna go try it for real now.
Look at the rear car. See, this is why you buy the first class tickets. You do not buy the unseated, non-green car seats if you want a smooth flight and you don't want to puke in your seats.
You get close.
Also on these trains, I don't know if you ever noticed, but there's no overhead bin storage.
Oh god.
Or there is overhead bin storage, it isn't closed though. So it would be a very bad thing to have with this. Well, it flies. It takes a lot of throttle. It really doesn't fly good. Look at the rear car.
landed on the tracks.
Yeah, it's on the tracks. Hey, someone would comment, landed on the tracks. I landed on the tracks. You didn't say it had to be on specifically the rails, but it is on the tracks. We gotta try it again, but this time I gotta release the cars in the sky. All right, you ready? Releasing, 3, 2, 1, go. Well, there you have it. Train plane. Is it a good idea? Absolutely not. There's a reason these things don't exist in the real world. It's really stupid and impractical. It's got so many variables here and it flies kind of awfully. And the engine itself flies amazing, but the cars add a whole dimension of drag. It feels like I'm towing like a banner through the sky with no real benefits. It's like slinks all around. It's constantly dragging the nose up into the sky and the tail down, causing major pitch control issues. But overall, it does fly. If you guys want to see more, maybe have some ideas on how I can fix the cars, because I would love to try maybe 10 at some point. Because it'd be really cool to see how long we can make this snake. But right now, I'm not very confident I can add much more than what's currently here. I may have to add more engines to the leading edge of this wing. That might give us more power, but that doesn't give us more control over these cars. Do you guys like this project? Well, guess what? I'm going to be giving it away to one of you. How to win it? Well, simply attend Open Sauce 2024. I'm going to be there. I'm pretty sure I'm going to put this crap in the Creator Museum. I don't really know what it's going to be called this year. We'll figure out those details later, but hey, we're going to give away the train plane. I'm going to give away the giant F-18 because I don't want it anymore and it's kind of falling apart. The ultralight plane that I made, the test bottle because that flies good, but I don't really need it anymore. It's taking up space. And a whole bunch of other assorted garbage around the shop that has been on the YouTube channel. Check out my Instagram. I'll probably have more details regarding that later. And there will probably be a Discord link.